Hey guys, welcome to Heat, Happy Energy, Amor Tarot. So today we are going to do a reading where we're not going to talk to, the person who reacts out of fear, ego, or confusion. This is where, um, this person, their higher self is what we are going to communicate with as to, you know, what is it that they think and feel irrespective of what the reactive side says. So in this reading we are not going to try and ask questions, rather we will be listening. Now to begin with, uh, whose energy is showing up here? See, the physical appearance, it could be a part of that, of course. So the cards are skin condition, medium hair, blue eyes, tooth gap, and overall energy is bald. So, so this person could be light-eyed or something about their eyes which could be prominent. They could have some skin conditions. They could have tooth gap. Short hair, medium hair, and they could be bald as well. But if we could go deeper into this, see, symbolically, skin is about boundaries and sensitivity. See, this is someone who's emotionally reactive beneath the surface. Things affect them more deeply than they show, and the stress has its way of leaking out, and it shows on their skin in some way. See, this person is currently raw, a little exposed, and not as emotionally protected as they pretend to be, at least. So they feel things quickly and they feel them deeply, is one of the characters this person may have. Now, medium hair is about in betweenness, right? It's not very long, it's not very short. So it's not extreme, it's not drastic. This is someone who tends to stay in the middle, avoid any sharp decisions, delay change until they are really pushed to or they don't have any choice but to, you know, absolutely have to make the change. So this person is someone who neither is fully holding on or letting go at the same time. So they live in this gray area, especially emotionally. Now, blue eyes is, see, blue is a color of truth, depth, emotional perception. So this card doesn't say light eyes only. It says that I see you, I see things, I see clearly, even when they don't act on what they see. They are emotionally aware. They know that the connection means something, but awareness doesn't always translate into action. See, they see truth, they just don't always know what to do with it. So again, like I said, it could be something that the person is light-eyed, or there's something that the eyes are prominent, they're big, they're small, you know, um, something around that. Now, tooth gap is a powerful symbol of communication, of expression, and sometimes what we dare to say out loud. A gap points out to the pauses and the hesitations here, and words that never quite came out when they should have. So this is someone who often thinks, I almost said it, I should have said it, maybe later. So, yes, this person could have some larger gaps than normal between their teeth, but there's a silence between their thoughts and their voice. Bald, this is, of course, this person could be bald. Other than that, symbolically, baldness is about stripping things down to the core. The card comes when someone is in a phase of ego shedding, vulnerability, or identity reset. So it doesn't mean they feel weak, it means that they are reassessing who they are, what they want, and what actually matters to them. So this is someone being forced into emotional honesty with themselves. Taking this energy together, it belongs to someone who is emotionally sensitive, internally aware, hesitant to speak, and currently in a phase of self redefinition. See, this is someone who hasn't resolved their feelings, they're still sitting with them somewhere. So, so the person on your mind could be dealing with all of it, or maybe some parts of what we saw here. Now, let's start by asking what your person is going through. So, what is my viewer's person's, what does their life look like right now? How are they doing in their own life currently? Two of Cups, Nine of Cups, King of Cups, overall energy, Ace of Swords. A lot of cups, a lot of emotions here showing up, of course. See, this person could have gotten into some sort of partnerships. Um, this is where the relationship area of life matters to them. This isn't automatically about a perfect relationship. It means they're emotionally oriented towards connection, harmony, emotional exchange. They are craving understanding. They want to feel met, not chased, not pressured, but seen. See, on the surface, this person looks okay, even content. This is someone who tells themselves, I'm fine, I've got things under control, I have everything I need. Maybe distracting themselves with comfort, pleasure, small wins to emotionally feel settled. But Nine of Cups is emotional satisfaction. That's a little self contained. They're trying to convince themselves they're fulfilled here, even if someone deeper is missing. King of Cups changes the tone a little bit. At heart, this person is emotionally mature right now, or at least emotionally capable. But King of Cups also carries unspoken emotions. See, they are emotionally strong, but emotionally private. An Ace of Swords, this is, you know, right now their life is pushing them towards clarity, some sort of mental clarity, emotional clarity, truth. So, and especially a truth that they could be avoiding for some time. So, um, they're reaching a point where self deception won't work anymore. See, right now, this person's life looks calm from the outside, emotionally rich on the inside, and mentally on the edge of a breakthrough. So they're not falling apart, but they're also not as settled as they pretend here. But just to clarify that, I'm going to ask that. So let's take a clarify from another deck. Is my viewer's person happy in their life in general? Intuition, past life, withdrawn, pride. See, pride is why they have to show that they are very happy. There are some past patterns which are still there. You intuitively already know that they are not happy. They're feeling lonely, isolated. They are withdrawn possibly in life here. So, um, yeah. Let's ask, what do they feel about this connection? What does my viewer's person feel about this connection currently? The Moon, Queen of Swords, Devil, overall energy, Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is again an energy of being apathy, emotionally, withdrawn, similar to what we saw just now. What they feel about this connection? At an emotional level, this connection feels uncertain, emotionally confusing to them. Not because they don't feel, but because they don't fully understand what they are feeling yet, possibly. The Moon is about emotional fog, old fears, past experiences, imagining that is influencing how they interpret this connection. They're not seeing it clearly, but feeling it deeply is what I would say. This tells us that their feelings are real, but filtered through fear and emotional memory here. Now, Queen of Swords is where they could be seeing you in this energy if you're the one who has become, clear with your boundaries. But they also are analyzing, questioning, creating distance in their own mind so they don't get overwhelmed by what they feel. See, this is not emotional coldness, this is emotional self protection because they have now started thinking logically, analyzing everything. They're trying to understand the connection without letting it undo them. So they're not. It's not that the emotions are not involved here, but they are cutting through emotion with logic right now because because caring feels risky. Now, devil, this is like the deeper truth. Despite the confusion, the mental distance, the logic, all of that, there is this strong emotional attachment here. This connection has hooks, attraction, intensity, unfinished energy, something that keeps pulling them back towards you mentally, emotionally, both. So, devil also shows fear of losing control. They don't just feel attached and attracted here, they feel exposed by how much this connection affects them. See, this is desire mixed with fear, wanting mixed with resistance here. The Four of Cups is where this person is emotionally dissatisfied, but also emotionally withdrawn. They're not fully open to what's being offered, not because it lacks value, but because they're emotionally numb here. So, see, Four of Cups is like, I feel something, but I don't know what to do with it yet, like I said earlier. So, they're sitting with their feelings instead of acting on them. So, right now, this connection does feel intense to them with this devil energy. Um, but then it's also confusing, emotionally loaded for them. They're drawn to it, cautious of it, and mentally trying to manage it. This is not indifference, this is like this emotional conflict. Let's ask, um, do you want a reconciliation with my viewers? Do you want a reconciliation with my viewers? Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Four of Cups again, overall energy, strength. See, they know that the stability can be created in this connection. Um, at some level, they're willing to put in the effort, but not emotionally impulsive effort. They see reconciliation as something that would require work, consistency. Um, it's not just feelings or missing someone. Something has to change here. Symbolically, this isn't about chasing love, it's about earning stability. They're asking themselves, can I actually show up different this time? Or can this other person, like you, can you show up differently this time? Something around that based on your situation here. The Nine of Pentacles is the hesitation. They're also aware of their independence right now. There's a part of them that enjoys being self sufficient, emotionally contained, and not accountable to anyone else's expectations. This card doesn't say I don't care. It says, I'm protective of my autonomy. So reconciliation does feel appealing, but it also feels like a responsibility right now. And then this emotional pause with the Four of Cups, where they're emotionally undecided. Not rejecting reconciliation, but they're not actively reaching for it either. They may be emotionally tired, unsure if reopening things would actually feel better than staying where they are. This is contemplation, not closure, is what I feel from this. And strength is where the feelings are controlled. I don't know if they need to gather the courage to do something about this whole situation. So feelings are controlled, but they're not absent as such. Strength is this quiet courage. There is this inner wrestling that is happening, and that unless they gather that courage, it's difficult to come forward. So yes, reconciliation does exist as a possibility in their mind, in their heart, but it's weighing against independence, emotional fatigue, um, and fear of doing it wrong again, the expectations and the responsibility. So this is not a no, this is not a yes, honestly. This is someone asking if they are strong enough to do it properly. Okay, let's see. What does their um, what does this distance make them feel? What does this distance with my viewers make them feel? Strength, the sun, Lovers, overall energy, Queen of Pentacles. See, even if they are restraining themselves with this strength, where they know that they have to, they don't want to act impulsively. uh, but they're aware of this, their emotions here. Instead of reacting impulsively, they're holding their feelings back, sitting with them, processing them, trying to understand them. So this isn't suppression. This is where they're realizing how much self-control they're using when you're around. So distance is somewhere helping them gain emotional maturity. Sun, the distance also makes them feel warmth and clarity about you. They remember the warmth you brought in their life. When things go quiet, what remains is memory of how good the connection felt, when it was light, genuine, real, warm. So you represent joy to them, not drama, not confusion, and distance strips things down to that truth. See, when noise fades, positive emotions come to the surface. Now, lovers is where distance makes this emotional choice louder. Maybe this person, I mean, we always see two of swords coming out of a similar energy like that. So, this distance is making them think about, reflect about those choices. They're not just missing you, they're questioning their decisions here. The connection doesn't fade quietly for them, it asks to be acknowledged. The lovers here is not about fantasy, it is about realizing this mattered more than I admitted here. Distance turns feelings into awareness, is what I get from this. So, at the core of it all, distance makes them value what you brought in their life: stability, warmth, emotional grounding, the love, the passion. Um, well, Queen of Pentacles. This is where they may not say it out loud, but they recognize your worth very clearly with this distance, and your absence is making them feel all that. So, absence here highlights your value for sure. Now, if this is making sense to you, do subscribe to the channel. Um, let's see. So, are you going to take any action towards a reconciliation with my viewers? Three of Wands, Judgment, the World, overall energy, Knight of Wands. See, they do want to complete a cycle. There is this, they're sitting in this energy of anticipation, thinking, planning. Three of Wands is where action is not impulsive, it is considered. They're looking ahead, watching, assessing, timing, and thinking about what's possible rather than jumping into anything emotionally. This is someone who hasn't shut the door, but they're standing at a distance, asking themselves, if I move forward, where does this actually go? So action is being planned, not rushed. Judgment is the awakening point. Judgment is that deep internal call. This is a card of resurrection, a realization that the connection does matter to them, that something unfinished still needs to be acknowledged between the two of you. So, this isn't nostalgia, this is accountability knocking their door, and the sense that avoiding the truth forever is not an option here. So, they are being asked to rise to a higher level of honesty here. The world, so this is huge here because it tells me that action they take towards reconciliation will not be about going back. It's about closing a cycle which they have been repeating and beginning things differently this time. The world doesn't repeat old stories. If they act, um, it's because they've understood. If they're acting distant, it's because they've understood that it, the cycle has to end and it cannot start the same way again. See, this completion with consciousness is what I would call it, not repetition. That's what's happening. And Nine of Wands is the realism here. There is hesitation. They're exhausted, wounded from past experiences, including this connection. So Nine of Wands is like, I'm not done, but I'm cautious. So she's still holding on to that wand. She's not letting it go. So this will only act, they will only act once they believe they can sustain it. So I see this as action is definitely possible towards a reconciliation that they are contemplating here. But this is someone who wants to do it right, not rushed. And once they move, it's because they're ready to close the old chapter, not because they're afraid of losing you. Let's ask what do my viewers um, what do my viewers need to know about this person? Death, the Fool, Eight of Cups, overall energy, Three of Pentacles. So death is similar energy um, to the world, where you're closing some chapters. It's like a transformation. So it's not necessarily an ending of the connection. This person is in the middle of deep internal ending or transformation, an ending of who they used to be in this connection. Death shows that old versions, old patterns, whatever, old dynamics were there, they're coming to an end. Whatever this connection becomes next, if anything, cannot look like the past. So this person is shedding the skin. That's possibly why also the skin condition card came out. Also, the medium hair to bald, so there's a transition happening there as well. So possibly this person is in a phase of transition in some way. The Fool, however, is a fresh start. So another part of them, although one part is ending or transitioning here, transforming here, another part of them wants to start fresh, take a leap of faith without baggage, without guilt, without being defined by past mistakes. Fool isn't careless here, it's emotionally naive. They want freedom, they don't want they don't fully understand the responsibility that comes with real connection. So they want a reset, but they haven't fully integrated the lesson yet that the death is giving them. And Eight of Cups, at some level, this person knows they need to walk away from the emotional confusion, patterns of avoidance, the half, fulfilled connections, the half truths that they have been telling you. See, they're searching, but they don't yet know what they are searching for. Three of Pentacles is where this person is only capable of a connection that is built consciously, collaboratively, and slowly. No shortcuts, no guessing. Okay. They cannot carry the emotional load alone. If this person comes back into your life, it has to be through mutual effort and clear rules. Otherwise, the cycle repeats. This person is not ready for magic, they're ready for work. So, what you need to know here is that this person is changing, but change does not equal readiness. See, they are between an ending and a beginning here. And that in between space is unstable. See, sometimes we confuse transformation with availability. Someone can be growing, healing, awakening, and still not be ready to meet you where you are. And that doesn't make you impatient, that just makes you aware and them not ready. You don't need to wait at the edge for someone else's becoming right. Real connection meets you, in the present, not in the promise. Let's finish this reading by asking for some messages from their higher self. So, what are the messages from my viewers' person's higher self? Chariot, Emperor, Page of Wands, overall energy, Three of Swords. They know they've hurt you. They know that they have, um, you know, kind of created this emotional exhaustion. Chariot isn't about rushing back or chasing reconciliation. It is about choosing a path consciously. Their higher self knows that drifting, hesitating, or staying emotionally stuck has caused more damage than distance ever did. This message is of accountability. No more, I don't know, no more emotional autopilot. This is about move forward, but move with intention, is what I'm thinking. Emperor is where, the higher self acknowledges that the connection requires emotional leadership, not avoidance. They know they have leaned too much on control, logic, my way or highway. The emperor here is not dominance, it's responsibility. Just we have accountability, we have responsibility here. um, Page of Wands, this is the hopeful part, but this is like a cautious, curious hope here. The higher self is open to a new approach, not a repetition. Page of Wands says curiosity exists, a desire to reach out differently, to express without overthinking. This willingness to begin is there, but this is not mastery yet. The spark is there, but it needs maturity to survive. Um, and the core truth their higher self cannot avoid is that Three of Swords, where there has been pain, disappointment, emotional wounding on both sides. Their higher self is not denying it or bypassing it or sugarcoating it at this point. This card says healing cannot happen without acknowledging the hurt. They know that. So the higher self here is saying that I know I need to move forward differently. I know I must take accountability and responsibility here. I know I can't repeat the old patterns. I know the pain we caused cannot be ignored but needs to be healed. Um, this is this is a message basically acknowledging truth. See, sometimes the higher self doesn't promise a reunion, it promises growth. And the growth isn't about choosing you one day, it is about you no longer shrinking, waiting, or breaking your heart in the meantime. You don't need potential from someone who is still learning how to lead themselves. Real connection meets you with clarity and courage and consistency, not, you know, after pain, but beyond it. That is what I have, guys. That was the reading today. Thank you for watching.